Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trust Stocks. I'm Dylan,
And Anthony?
and we have it's a little bit of a different video. I kind of like these, but basically, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Shun. I didn't make an echo. I didn't have the button
Yeah.
for it. But it's for like a year out from now. It's on OpenAI and their IPO, which is what everyone on Reddit's talking about right now. I think it's not going to go well. But you can never go wrong when you make a bold prediction with over
Yeah.
a year out and not all the facts,
Yep. Yeah, it's never been wrong in the history of humanity.
right?
Yep.
So I'm putting this poll up right now. I do think it's funny because as of right this second, I have not uploaded this video yet, and someone already said I'm dead wrong, and,
Yeah.
and there's no details.
Hype Dylan's mom.
That was pretty funny. But yeah, I got some haters. So vote after this video on if I'm right or wrong here. I'll make this fast so we don't waste anyone's time. So obviously, OpenAI has announced they're going to do an IPO. I'm going to give you the details about that in a second. Just before I do, I want this in the back of everyone's mind, just real quick. Okay. So estimated revenue figures. Not a lot of money is just all this means. Okay. So first half of 2025, 4.3 billion in total revenue. Now, it's really hard to get accurate numbers on a private company. I've seen 8 billion, I've seen 10 billion, I've seen 2 billion. This is the one that most people are reporting. So I'm going with this one. Okay.
Okay.
So first half, 4.3 billion. Okay. And then Sam Altman has stated by end of 2025, they'll hit 20 billion. I don't think so. But what do I know? I don't know anything. More importantly, some other stuff at the end. I'll go through this quickly, but they are just saying OpenAI lays the groundwork for juggernaut IPO at up to 1 trillion valuation. Okay. The company is looking to raise at least $60 billion at the low end, likely more. They think that they're going to start the process second half of 2026 and then launch in 2027 for said IPO. Now,
Okay.
this is very speculative. The CFO, Sarah Fryer, has told some associates the company is aiming for 2027. We don't know. And then they said an IPO is not our focus, so we could not possibly have set a date. We are building a durable business and advancing our mission, yada, 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 yada. But Sam Altman addressed the possibility of going public later. I think it's fair to say it is the most likely path for us given the capital needs that we'll have.
Yeah, that makes
One,
perfect sense.
yeah, they have to, right?
Yeah.
And not to mention, I'm having a little bit of a difficulty right now putting videos in our software because with AI, YouTube has new rules, so I have not figured out how to put videos on here yet. But they did an interview with a investor, and the investor was saying all the things I've said of how can you possibly promise all these deals? You're not making any money, and it's their money on the line. And
Okay.
Sam Altman just said, you know what? If you want to sell your shares, I'll find a buyer. I don't care. Just yeah,
That is some BDE right there. No crap given, man.
he doesn't care. And
Yeah.
I mean, he has a decent product. So I say decent. Like I mean, to be clear, it's incredible. It's just now there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
OpenAI, this is Yahoo Finance. They looked at Microsoft's filing for September 30th. Because they own 27% of the company and they had a $3 billion write-off, you can get from that or infer from that
Yeah.
that they lost 11.5 billion for the quarter. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good chunky number.
Right? So that would imply if Sam Altman is hitting 20, then I don't know where the other 10's coming from because as of right now, mathematically, they should be at about 10 billion. So if you're losing 11.5 billion a quarter after making 10 billion for the year, you're losing a 3 to 4 to 1 ratio.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I've heard even like their top tier subscription, which is like $2.99 a month or something like that, they're actually losing money still even at that price.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, it's really like so video intensive. It's huge. Now, real quick, I just want to show who owns a OpenAI. So Microsoft holds a 27% stake. There's a couple other people, Thrive, Sequoia, SoftBank's a big one, that as a conglomerate, as all of them, have 47%. And then another 26% is by the OpenAI Foundation. Okay. So most of this company is owned not by OpenAI. All right. It's owned by a bunch of investors, which is typical of tech companies. That can happen. Now, the problem is that they are running into is that these guys are pissed. So there's some rumors that Microsoft is like, hey, I'm not just going to keep on feeding you billions and billions of dollars with me getting no return on investment. There's been a couple articles released of spokesmen being like, oh, there seem to be some tensions, as there should be, because Microsoft is footing a bill and getting absolutely nothing in return for it, right? Which comes to, okay. Remember the deals that they have?
Yep.
I won't go into the details. They have a shit ton. $1 trillion in deals. They have absolutely no money or any way to pay for them. Okay? And then, more importantly, timeline of these deals. AMD is supposed to start in the second half of 2026, 6 months from now. It's supposed to start 6 months from now. Broadcom is supposed to begin in about 9 months. And NVIDIA's is supposed to begin in about 9 months. Oracle's is in 13 months. That's a total of $600 billion, by the way, for someone who's losing 10 to 15 million a quarter. Billion. Sorry, 10 to 15 billion a quarter.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I don't understand. So here's the bold takeaway here. Okay, now the only way this company makes money, and if anyone watched my video last week on Rigetti quantum computing and you took that short, congratulations, we're killing it. Very happy. I think I'm already up like 28% or something. Pretty awesome. Nice. I did sell some of my short just because you don't know what's going to happen in this market. It could keep tanking. It could go back up. So I made sure I locked in some profit. Anyone who took it, good job. But if you looked at that video and I looked at the fundamentals in depth, you can see on $1 to $2 million in revenue, million, not billion, they were a $14 billion market cap company, and they have done so many share offerings or rounds of share offerings. That's just how they make money. They just hype up the word quantum. They say it a lot. People, not idiots. That's not a dick move. Not
optimistic, gullible people.
There we go. Optimistic, gullible people throw in money because, there's this guy, Elon, that was saying the same crap in 2018 and it actually worked. And then they just lose everything. So what's going to happen is the rumor of an IPO will not happen 2027. It's going to happen before that because they are out of money. Microsoft doesn't want to pay anymore. And they know that they're going to lose $3 billion that they lost is the lowest amount they will ever lose again because they're scaling.
Yeah. Probably not wrong.
It's $3 billion this quarter. It's $6 billion next quarter. It's just going to continue, right? They will raise a decent amount of cash from the IPO as retail enters the trade, but SoftBank, Microsoft, Thrive are all at a certain point going to immediately dump at least half of their shares. They need a return on investment, and they need to make sure that they lock in some profit. Owning 13% of what could be a huge company is still a monster. But Microsoft, Thrive, they don't want to fund this anymore because there's too many competitors with much deeper pockets. You have Grok, you have Meta, who on themselves make billions and billions of dollars. Yeah. Well, not Grok, but Elon, who will just fund it himself.
Like you were saying, a few thoughts here. Like as far as going public at $1 trillion valuation, I'm not sure that's ever been done before.
It hasn't.
The market would have to be very, very hungry for this, if you will. They're going to really have to start hyping up the train here in order to get individual investors interested in this. At those kind of valuations.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be $1 trillion, but I think Microsoft and Thrive and Sequoia want it to, because then they could dump shares immediately. The return on their profit is huge because they own 26, 27% for Microsoft, and they're burning a couple billion. Thrive or whatever was in it when their valuation was like 130 million. Right. So, I mean, they won the trade. If it hits $1 trillion, just sell all your share. It's over. You did it. 100x your money. There's no reason for them to take the risk at that point. And they know just mathematically, they have to do more share offerings. They have to, because they're burning an inappropriate amount of cash, which is 0.3 here. So now, Vinny, where are you at on this poll here?
Let's see. Well, whether you're dead wrong or we live in a simulation, nothing matters.
Or plausible.
So I'm going to say plausible. I do think it's going to be really hard for that to sustain that valuation, and I can see it going public with a big bunch of hype. And then as soon as the lockup period is for inside investors, that stock significantly go under pressure, they are probably going to have to continue to issue shares for a period of time to continue funding like a loss from operations as they buy massive amounts of GPUs, rent huge amounts of cloud infrastructure, and then gobble up 10% of the nation's power supply. So like it is going to be a very, very like investment intensive thing, and that's why Sam Altman understands that they eventually do have to go public, because there's no other way they're going to get that level of capital in the business if they don't go public.
And I should have been more specific, because you're correct on the lockout period. That's why I think the IPO will go, and then I think it'll actually go up initially because it'll just be all retail investors just rushing to the trade. And then as soon as that lockout period is done, I think they're going to at least half what they have, which is a lot. So,
well, I mean, it'll be a big opportunity. Just we have to watch for the news to drop. It'd be nice too, before they actually go public, they do have to start disclosing a significant amount of their financials internally. So we'll start to get a better idea of what the operating metrics look like. How bad they really are.
It will not be good. All right. Let us know what you think. I want to know who that one guy is that Artie. He's like, he's dead. He's dead wrong. I don't know what it's about. He's wrong.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And congratulations for anyone in the Rigetti trade. All right, guys. Have a good one.
See you next one.